The following programming is EI, educational and informative.
Today on Mystery Hunters, we're joining forces to solve a royal mystery. A princess disappears from Russia. A woman who says she's a princess appears in America.
Could they be the same person?
I'm going to Russia to investigate a princess who is supposed to have been murdered. Is the Russian Princess Anastasia resting here?
Нет, Christina.
He says 2 of the skeletons are missing.
And I'm in America, on the trail of a woman who says she escaped the bullets that killed her family. Was it an amazing escape or an incredible hoax?
We're teaming up from 2 different sides of the world to find out. Something made the bullets ricochet and fly around the room.
I'm on it. And Doubting Dave's gonna show you how to fool people into thinking you're somebody you're not.
Hey, it's me, Doubting Dave.
This is Mystery Hunters.
We'll be right back with more Mystery Hunters. We now return to Mystery Hunters.
These kids from Charlottesville, Virginia sent me an email. Get this. They say a Russian princess lived in their neighborhood.
Really? That's so cool. We have to check it out.
A Russian princess in the United States? This I've got to see. Hey guys.
Hey, Araya! Come on, we want to show you that. We want to show you that. It's over here. This is it.
This is it, Araya. This is the house where the lady who said she was a princess lived.
Yeah, until the day she died, she told everybody she was a Russian princess.
What was her name?
She called herself Anna Anderson.
Anna Anderson. Charlottesville, USA. Okay, here we go. Anna Anderson. Could a Russian princess really have been living in a simple little house in America? Hi, Christina.
Hey, Araya. I'm in Russia. You're not gonna believe this. I dug up some newspapers and found reports that a Grand Duchess disappeared.
Grand Duchess? What's that?
That's what they call a princess here.
Really? What's her name?
Anastasia. Here's her picture. Now listen to this. Anastasia's dad was Nicholas II, the ruler of the entire Russian Empire. She was the youngest daughter. This was her home.
Wow.
Anastasia's family was rich and powerful. Then, there was trouble.
What happened?
There was a war, and the Russian people were poor. A group called the Bolsheviks blamed Anastasia's dad for Russia's problems. They took control of the country, and her family lost everything. Anastasia and her family escaped to the countryside, where they would be safe. Or so they thought. One night, soldiers came to their home in the country, and they were all killed. This is the room where it happened. Those holes in the wall are bullet holes. But a few months later, a woman showed up in a hospital in Berlin, Germany. She was covered with cuts and bruises. She couldn't remember her name. The mysterious woman looked a lot like Anastasia. And get this, she called herself Anna Anderson.
Is Anna Anderson really the Russian Princess Anastasia? Could she have escaped the bullets that killed her family and made her way across Europe to Germany? Look what I found. A book about the Russian princess. Let's find out what the author knows. Hi, Peter.
Oh, hi, Araya.
Peter Kurth knew Anna Anderson for more than 10 years. He really believes that she was the Russian princess Anastasia. So, why do you think Anna Anderson was Anastasia?
You were immediately aware that she was somebody important. When you met her for the first time, for instance, she insisted that you address her as an Imperial Highness. You would call her your Imperial Highness, Grand Duchess Anastasia.
So, she really acted like you'd expect a princess to act. Do you have any physical evidence that Anna Anderson was Anastasia?
They were identical physically. They had the same hair color, the same height, the same eye color. And one very important thing, Anastasia had a deformity of one of her feet, and Anna Anderson had exactly the same thing.
I see. They both had something wrong with their foot.
And then another thing very particular, Anna Anderson had a scar on her forehead here. If you look at the pictures of the Tsar's daughters all lined up together, that they were always dressed and had their hair done exactly the same way, except for Anastasia, whose hair was always cut in a little fringe so it fell over her forehead to hide that scar.
And there's more. Peter tells me that Anna Anderson knew all sorts of things that only the real Anastasia could have known, like who people were in old photographs. Her case is pretty convincing, but if Anna Anderson really is the Russian princess, then how did she survive her family's execution?
Let me find out.
Then how did she survive her family's execution?
This is the Russian archive. If there are any documents about Anastasia's death, they'll be in here. Привет.
Привет.
Did you ever think that there might be another you in the world? Someone who looks exactly like you that you've never seen? 12-year-old Ariana, 10-year-old, thank you. 10-year-old Ariana de Gratola thinks so. Take a look on the Mystery Illustrator. Dear Doubting Dave, I heard that everyone has a twin in the world. Not someone who's related to you, but a look-alike. My mom says she has one in Italy. And I found my own twin in the local newspaper. Is this possible? Well, Ariana, it's definitely possible that you saw a picture of someone who looks like you in the newspaper. In fact, here's a picture of my look-alike. But just because you saw someone who looks like you doesn't mean there aren't differences you might not have noticed. Every face has things about it that make it unique. The distance between the eyes, length of the nose, shape of the jaw, and tons more. In fact, the differences between your face and someone else's are often smaller than the differences in your own face when you change expressions. Even a change in light or expression can make the same face look completely different. That's why computer programs designed to recognize faces get fooled. Sometimes they say two faces don't match when they do, and sometimes they say two faces do match when they don't. So, Ariana, you might have seen somebody in the right lighting with a similar expression to yours and thought she was your look-alike, but I doubt you have an exact twin. Me too. There you go. Whoa. Another adoring fan. That's all the time. What the heck? Your friend, Weird Al.
right back with more Mystery Hunters. We now return to Mystery Hunters.
Was a woman named Anna Anderson really the last Russian Princess Anastasia? Did she survive the murder of her family and end up in an ordinary-looking house in America? I'm here in Russia to find out. Привет.
Okay.
I'm in. Hi there.
Здравствуйте.
Очень приятно.
Очень приятно.
I need to see any documents connected with Anastasia Romanov.
Конечно, у нас много документов. Количество таких документов, хотя бы несколько из них. О, вот это моя любимая фотография.
That's Anastasia.
Yeah.
Sergei says she loved playing pranks, like wearing a set of fake horror teeth for this joke photograph. Maybe she pulled off the ultimate prank and disguised her identity so she could escape. This is 1916. Is there anything more recent? This one's getting closer. Does it hold Anastasia's secret? July 17th, 1918. That's the day Anastasia's family was killed. Who wrote this letter?
Юровский, комендант дома особого назначения.
Commandant Yakov Yurovsky wrote this letter. He commanded the soldiers who killed Anastasia's family. He was there. He would have been the last person to see her alive if she didn't escape. Do you have a translation?
Да, конечно.
Araya, I think I've got something. Listen to this. The firing began and lasted 2 to 3 minutes. Nicholas was killed instantly, followed by Alexandra, the servants, and Alexei. 3 of his sisters were still alive? Something made the bullets ricochet and fly around the room. Marie and Anastasia were barely visible through the smoke. Did you hear that?
It sounds horrible. How could she possibly survive?
I don't see anything confirming her death in this note. Maybe there's a clue in the palace where she lived. This was Anastasia's home. It's a museum now. How could Anastasia have survived the attack? Of course. The royal family had lots of jewels, and Anastasia would have worn a corset like this under her fancy dresses. She could have hidden the jewels inside the corset, and it would have protected her like a bulletproof vest. Is this what happened?
Да, Christina.
She says that is what happened. The gems were found in the girls' corsets. That could explain why the executioner's note said the bullets were bouncing around the room. So, did Anastasia survive?
Нет, скорее всего, это
Margarita thinks that even if the bullets bounced off the gems, that still wouldn't have saved her. Is there any other evidence that might suggest that she did survive?
Мы знаем, что
She tells me some new information has been dug up that was lost for 80 years. They finally found the remains of Anastasia's family. I'm on my way to check it out. Wow, Anastasia's family's tomb is in here. Is the Russian Princess Anastasia resting here along with the rest of her family?
Нет, Кристина. Здесь похоронены не все.
He says 2 of the skeletons are missing. Who's missing? Anastasia?
Из 11 убитых человек похоронен.
He tells me he doesn't know for sure, but he tells me I should go to the lab of a Dr. Nikitin. Dr. Nikitin knows how to rebuild someone's face from just their skull. When they found the place where Anastasia's family was buried, Dr. Nikitin inspected the bones in the grave, and he used clay to reconstruct their faces to see what they looked like when they lived. This is one face that he made. It looks like Anastasia's dad. And this is another.
Here she is.
Who's that?
Anastasia.
So she didn't survive.
Нет.
He says that no one survived. And one of the skulls is definitely Anastasia's. Dr. Nikitin says Anastasia is not one of the missing skeletons. She was buried with the rest of her family after the execution.
If Anastasia was buried with her family, then who's Anna Anderson?
Good question, Araya. I'll have to get back to you. Who are you? Why are you following me?
Нет, no cameras, please. I have some information. It will help you. Take it.
What was that all about?
Araya, I just got a tip that Anastasia's family hired a private detective to check out Anna Anderson.
Cool, private detective. What did he find?
You'll never believe who Anna Anderson is.
Hey, it's me, Doubting Dave. I'm practicing impersonating other people, and you can do it too. All you need to get started are a few simple tricks that Anna Anderson herself may have used. You can start by copying their hairstyle, then their clothing style. But the real secret to impersonating someone is to act like them. To do that, you have to study their every move. Are they friendly and helpful? Or short-tempered and mean? You also have to imitate their body language. If they slouch, you slouch. If they bite their nails, you bite your nails. Comedians use this approach to impersonate people all the time. And even though they might not look exactly like the person they're imitating, the audience knows who they're pretending to be just because of their body language. Of course, costumes and props can help too. Remember, the only thing Clark Kent had to do to become Superman was take off his glasses and put on some tights.
We'll be right back with more Mystery Hunters. We now return to Mystery Hunters.
A seemingly ordinary woman living in the United States said she was the Russian princess Anastasia. Araya, Anna Anderson might be an imposter pretending to be a princess. Check out the picture the private investigator took.
Who is it? This woman sure looks like Anna Anderson.
She is. Remember how after Anastasia's family was executed, a woman showed up in a German hospital with cuts and bruises and used the name Anna Anderson?
Yeah?
Well, the detective says Anna Anderson is really a Polish factory worker, not a princess. And her real name isn't even Anna Anderson. It's Franziska Shanskowska.
I've got to check this out. Hi, Peter. I just got these pictures. Could Anna Anderson have been this Polish factory worker?
I don't think so, no. I don't think she was any kind of factory worker. And if you had known her, you would know the same, that she was a very educated woman, knew all kinds of things about history, literature, art, in a way that an uneducated Polish girl of that time could not possibly know.
Peter tells me that the Russians weren't the only scientists to examine Anastasia's bones.
Hi, Dr. Falsetti.
Hi, Araya. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Dr. Tony Falsetti has also examined the bones of Anastasia's family.
So you went to Russia. What did you find there?
Well, I found 9 skeletons. That means there's 2 missing, and the 2 that are missing are the youngest, Anastasia and her brother.
How can you be so sure?
Well, it's based on the age.
Anastasia would have been 17 when her family was executed. And when we're still growing, parts of our spinal cord have a ring sticking out of the bone, like this one.
I did not see this on any of the skeletons in Russia, and that tells me that Anastasia's not there.
So, if Anastasia wasn't in that grave after all, then Anna Anderson really could be Anastasia.
There's one final way to solve this mystery.
You're right. I'm on it. You and I both have a special code in our genes. It's called DNA. Dr. Terry Melton knows how to read that code. So for Anna Anderson and Anastasia to be the same person, their special DNA codes have to match?
That's right.
Dr. Melton compared Anna Anderson's DNA with the DNA of one of Anastasia's family members. Well, what did the results show? Is Anna Anderson the Russian princess Anastasia?
No. In this case, the Anastasia family member and the Anna Anderson sample did not match.
Did you compare the Polish factory worker's DNA with Anna's?
Well, I didn't, but some other scientists did, and they found that Anna Anderson was Franziska Shanskowska.
So Anna Anderson was a Polish factory worker and not a Russian princess?
That's right. It sure looks that way, and it's really sad to me because I met her one time, and it makes me disappointed to think she wasn't really a royal princess.
Science has revealed Anna Anderson's true identity. She's not the Russian princess Anastasia. But the remains of 2 members from Anastasia's family are still missing from the grave. Until those skeletons are found, many people will still believe Anastasia survived. I still like to believe that the Grand Duchess escaped.
And even if Anna Anderson wasn't a Russian princess, it makes for a pretty interesting story.
It is a great story, Araya, but it's pretty hard to argue with DNA evidence, no matter how closely one person resembles another. Would you cut that out? Well, as long as you're here, do a little tidying up, will you? Thanks for watching. Hey, that's my line.
Well, Christina, I guess that's our show for this week.
It sure is, Araya. See you next week.
Help! Let us in! They're lookalikes. They're trying to take our places.
Listen to them. They don't even talk like us. Help! Get us in there.
Help! Let us in!
Hey, come here. Open the door.
Remember,
Things aren't always what they seem. Stop them!
let us in! Come on!